You know, I'm hearing a lot these days about the grunge movement and the younger generation um, getting all up into it, which is what always happens, you know. They're going to commercialize it, and the propaganda is going to brand it, and all the people that own that content already sold out. That's everything that Kurt Cobain was against, let me just add. And I'll tell you exactly what the grunge movement was, or emo core rock, as it was branded and morphed into the business of music. And I know because I was there and I was a part of it. And I wasn't a part of it because I heard it and I copied it. I was a co-creator of this movement with many, many other artists that were striving to reveal and uncover the lies within our society and our governments and reveal the matrix, a system that is not in alignment with humanity at all, but there to trick you and demoralize you and corral you into slavery via materialism, lack of morality, lack of integrity, complete entitlement. Need I go on? And hence, you have Generation Z, completely inept. Not all of them. There are some awesome kids out there that are, and I'm speaking to you because I know you're lost amongst a generation that's been programmed. They're mind-controlled, programmed little tools that have been raised on the tell lie vision because parents checked the hell out. They wanted to be friends. They stopped disciplining. Kids need discipline. They want discipline. They will choose discipline. That's how they register how they're loved and cared for, by the way. But look, don't listen to me. I just was there. I am Gen X, baby. First frickin' year of the generation. 1960. I absorbed it all firsthand. Okay? And when my artistic expression needed to be heard and expressed through music and being born and raised in Hollywood, I stood up and I spoke not as a female exploiting my gender, my body, my sexuality, but as a human expressing what I saw happening. And that's what all of us were doing. So the music itself, the musicality of it, is disharmonic. Okay? It's meant to be that way. We created a style, sonic landscapes of dissonance. And we were struggling to wake people up. This was the 90s. We were struggling to wake people up. But it became a movement and it was growing, okay, until we lost Kurt and many others along the way because we are sensitive artists. And many of our artists were not self-disciplined enough to weather the storm of lies and manipulation and waving a carrot to a hungry child, and in return you steal their soul and you own them and you manipulate them. That's enough to make any true Gen X want to kill themselves, let me tell you. And I've been there, and I, luckily for myself, did not get addicted to drugs because I was an observer. I had a different path. I was here to weather the storm and to get the message across and to never sell my soul. Even when they came calling, dangling those carrots, the greatest self-restraint I ever exercised was not falling for their crap and retaining ownership of my soul, my creativity, my voice, my dominion as a sovereign human, which is why everyone is in trouble right now, because they squished our attempt at getting people aware and alert of what was coming up ahead. And they managed to do it. They killed music via American Idol and all these ridiculous commercialized, scams to enrich the music catalogs of established artists. And then every little, nook and cranny, they have these people that think they're freaking artists. It's not what happens. What they managed to do was kill the dissenting voice, the pulse, the heartbeat of Generation X. We were not gonna take it. We were raised on rock and roll, baby. We were here as indigos to pull down the frickin' foundation, to pull down the dead structure, to burn it off and cleanse for hallowed ground, to rebuild a better way outside the construct of the operating system that governs each and every one of your lives from the second you breathe air on this planet, and manipulates your DNA to keep you at the lowest possible frequency of your species evolution. Now, I've only been saying this my entire life. I didn't hear this on the internet because when I started talking about this, the internet did not even exist. So whatever wants to come at me, to challenge me, whatever. Do it. Go for it. I dare you. I double dare you. Because I was made to withstand this moment. I was made to go upstream against all the propaganda and ignorance that have been fed to the masses, to create this hive mind mentality where people can't even frickin' use their mind and their brain in a simplistic template of common sense. We're not talking quantum physics, we're talking common frickin' sense. Is that really hard? Is that really difficult? That would require you slowing down and being in the moment and taking in surroundings. Not being a consuming, frickin' narcissistic psychopath, which is what most people are operating within the template of these days. So I apologize if I'm offensive. Oh, yeah, my generation lived to be offensive. We cut our teeth on All in the Family, dude. Give me a break. Racism is only in existence at this moment because somebody is exploiting it to get what they want. And they're using you as a tool to get there. And that's how progressive you are. You don't even know when you're being manipulated. I'm not saying there aren't cases of such still out there in the world. But for the most part, since I was a child, growing up in, again, Los Angeles, city of lost angels for sure, we had the inner city kids bust into our school. We were excited to have them there. We loved the diversity. I don't remember anyone ever having problems at school. Okay? My neighbor, unfortunately, unfortunately for his family, you know, experienced some ridiculous, dumb kid stuff when the cross burning stuff was going on. People were having crosses burned on their lawns if they were black or something like that. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. It was so dumb. But just some kids, just trying to mimic dumb shit, did that to my neighbor down the street's lawn. They were the only black family in our subdivision. And, he was a basketball player and I was a cheerleader, and he was very shy and I was shy even if I was outgoing. I, kind of didn't get down his side of the block because I stayed in my house a lot or was gone because I had a car. And so after that happened, yeah, I very loudly expressed that that was uncool, and I stepped up to offer him rides to school from then on. So, I'm not tooting my horn because only he and I know that happened. Like, I didn't have to run out and advertise to everybody, oh, look at me. Aren't I awesome? I'm doing this. But I tell you, I've had a lot of people try to slam me with that bullshit racism crap, okay? And with getting their little feelings hurt on some of the way I speak reality, my realism, the character of somebody that has come through multi-generations of societal expression and struggle and repetition, so that I'm wide awake, baby. I know exactly the game. I use my mind. I don't let anybody take it. And you should do the same. Critical thinking is imperative. And if you all want to hand over your souls to some force that is so evil that if you thought about it, you'd actually get it, but you're so addicted to filling that empty goddamn hole that resides inside of you. It's an endless pit because you're not doing your inner work. The answer is within. The revolution is within. Ascension is within. That's when we get to really exercise our co-creative experiences at the highest level. Right now, this is just a train wreck because all these people have put off dealing with their personal issues. And now fear porn has infected your brains and you don't have a clue. And so you're running around like those people, on the Titanic, that you're on the life raft and they're drowning and they grab onto you and they trying to pull you out of the boat so they can get in. You know what you got to do? You got to kick that motherfucker in the head, because they are not. My compassion goes out the window at that point because my very survival is at hand. And my first responsibility lies there. And from there, I hope to make a ripple effect and help the rest. But if you can't use your mind, your brain, your reasoning, your observation, your self-awareness, your critical thinking, and understand that you have been in a mind control experiment. You were born into it, most of you, because it started right after the Nazis lost the war. All those Nazis were brought over to America to start perpetrating this very long, layered, live event that we are now experiencing. So buckle up, pull up your little panties, and understand that we're gonna get through this, okay? But you need to find it within you right now to stand up for who you are and what you believe in. Don't go hiding in the corners, baby. Don't go hiding in the corners, because they will find you. And I mean that metaphorically, or maybe not. You need to stand up against the tyranny that your mind knows is wrong, but you're unable to come out of the paralysis of fear to do anything about. So if somebody comes up to you and holds a knife to your neck and is about to stab you, what are you going to just stand there and let them? That's where we're at. We are in a war. It's a different war. You didn't even know you were in a war, did you? We are at war. We are at war. The enemy has infiltrated our homeland. And I'm sorry if that sounds Nazi, but that's the truth. That's the truth. And they are the Nazis. And part of their mind control is to project every single solitary thing they do upon us. We are their enemy because we are holding on to human sovereignty. We are holding on to the right to exist, to be, upholding the Constitution, and in many ways upholding the last frontier of freedom around the world. Because if the United States falls, the world falls to these globalists, okay? All of our government right now that is in positions that they have stolen are 100% owned by other countries. Do your research. The information, the evidence is out there. I am not a Republican, okay? I'm not a Republican. I'm an independent voter. I have walked with the Dems through Hollywood up until this moment. I got off that train after the first term of Obama because I saw too much that was indicating something was awry. And call me crazy, I've always been somebody that has an investigative mind. And I'm intrigued with things like, that hold mystery. And so I delve into them and I explore what is there, and I use my mind and I see things because of it that others overlook because they're too busy and distracted, which is exactly what they've tried to do. So I am telling you this from somebody who has been there through generations, observing, discerning information, watching the sides go back and forth as to who the enemy was in distraction. This is a duality game. And somewhere between all of this, we're supposed to, as humanity, learn and grow and evolve. So I'm really challenging all of you out there who may be listening. And I love every one of you because we are brothers and sisters. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you love. As long as you are a good person and you don't hurt children and animals and old people, you don't hurt yourselves, and don't hurt each other. Like, it's really basic. I don't care about the rest. Just be a good person. But I am telling you all, we need to buckle up. We need to find unity, and we need to stick together. Because those that are controlling this are a very small majority, but they make you think through their propaganda that they are the majority, and they're not. That's why they need to control the media, And if you look into 2014, bummer, as I like to call him, refused to sign, as every preceding president had since it was enacted, the law to make it illegal for our government to use propaganda against us. That law has been in effect since World War II. After that, shortly after that. And Obama was the only one that did not want to sign it, which means starting in 2014, Obama and his Muslim Brotherhood, because once again, that is what it is. And I've met him, worked on his first campaign. Again, I was blinded by the light too, babies. But if you're awake, then you're able to be discerning and not influenced by emotion. Hey, I'm a really emotional being. I'm an artist, always have been my whole entire life. Everybody that knows me knows that I will cry over like just about anything, which means I've had to toughen up and learn how to balance and control my emotion and my sensitivity to the best of my ability, because I was called to be a warrior, not because I wanted to, but because we needed the warriors here. And so I'm calling out to you now. Please stand up. Don't be afraid. There is nothing to lose except everything. Fear nothing. Believe me, I have challenged every one of my fears, and I can look it all in the eye and say, bring it, bring it, bring it. That's a powerful thing. And I can say that because I know this is just a layer. Okay? There's so much more, but we have to get there. And we have to get through this test. We have to get through this moment, this pivotal moment when we shift this paradigm out of duality into the multidimensional reality that we are wired for and designed for as the beautiful, crystalline human beings that we are. Okay? Sorry, I just had to stop work and lay this puppy down because we are getting close, kids. I love you. Stand up. But the grunge movement, if you want to be about the grunge movement, if you want to understand the grunge movement, this is what the grunge movement was all about right now, at this moment. We're here. Peace and blessings.